Yo, welcome back. This is been a little while since I've done my first one, so I apologize for the delay in this. But this is chapter two review of Berserk the manga. I'm sorry it took a while to get back to do the second one. I just was away from home. I was visiting family out in the country, but I'm back and I have read chapter two, and it is an awesome step up from this first one. I thought the first one was good to lay the foundation, and in this chapter we were able to explore a little bit more into um, what the brand is. I mean, we did have questions after the first chapter review, so I guess to just recap really quickly. So last time we left off, Guts killed the Coca Castle monster and proceeded on his mission to find the God Hand. Um, and I guess like my question with that is like, what is the God Hand's purpose? Why is he hunting them down? Um, did they afflict him with the brand? I mean, I feel like that's something that is really important in the context of why he's doing that. Which, talking about the brand, leads into chapter two, called, funnily enough, the brand. Awesome opening scene here. So, yeah, once again, like a really cool, like eye-catching first panel. No sex this time, but sadly enough. But yeah, so sorry if I keep looking down. I've got notes because there's a lot to go through with this particular chapter. But so you got these ghoul-like apparitions hunting Guts off rip, but Guts, he's looking really beat up. You can see from like the scars on his arm and on his face over here. You can kind of see he's cut up again. I mean, fuck, every single time. But it begs the question though, like how much. So he's constantly fighting for his life. For me, it begs the question: how much does he value his life? Because again, after the first chapter, when he's getting brutally the absolute shit kicked out of him, if you want to run back the last video, but he's getting the shit kicked out of him in that first chapter, and it happens throughout the whole chapter, and it's starting again here in this particular. He's just constantly getting pumped, constantly. So it begs the question: how much does he value his life, or better yet, what is driving Guts to push on? That's my question. Like, I don't think he just does it for the love of the game. He's not fighting for the love of the game. He's been marked. He's hunting the God Hand. Whatever they did to him, or whatever they perceivably did to him, they must have really, they must have fucking done something really horrible. They must have done something terrible to make him want to go and hunt them down. So, anyways, after that, we go into this really cool sort of this really cool sequence. Reminds me a little bit of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I don't know why they didn't just fly the ring on the eagles to Mount Doom, but anyways, it's a different story. And it starts off pretty simple, realistically. Like it starts off with the classic 1-2 Guts punch, if you will, where Guts is kind of pissed off with Puck for existing, and Guts is really enamored and intrigued with. Puck is really enamored and intrigued with Guts and what his mission is and what his purpose is and why he is the way he is. I think she's really intrigued around the psychology there. And blah blah blah. The only real thing notable point here is he says, "It pisses me off when I see weaklings over here," and he says, "I feel like I want to crush them." And then he says down here, "It makes me want to squish them because they can't do anything on their own." Blah blah blah. I mean, based on how this chapter plays out, and I'm jumping the gun a bit here, that is not true in my opinion. He doesn't believe that. He really is. He's an empath, guys. Come on. But he really cares, and it shows later on in the chapter, which we'll delve into that. But, anyways, so what I really love here, I love these panels down here. I love these. Let me center it for you guys. There you go. These stormy panels, so cool. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it that is really like soothing to read. Anyways, so Guts stumbles onto this carriage with the priest and his daughter. But devastatingly, devastatingly for Guts, Puck is there. Oh, wrong way. No, right way. There it is. Over there. I can't reach. Oh, over there. So she's on the carriage too, and basically he gets encouraged by the priest to get on the carriage, which he does, and goes for a ride with them to get out of the rain. I'm really intrigued. Something that really intrigues me is the creator of Berserk, Kentaro Miura. Is he religious? Because it seems like possibly, I don't really know, but I'm curious about this. Is there is some of Guts's sort of character traits based on Kentaro Miura's personal beliefs? Because it seems like Guts doesn't have time for religious concept religious concepts and religious people so far. I mean, really run into really one, it seems, but he doesn't have time for it, apparently. So it seems. So I'd be curious to know if he is religious or not. But where are we? Yeah, that's where I spoke about that. Guts possibly modeled after Kentaro in terms of beliefs. Yep. Anyway, so then yeah, so Guts notices over here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. There we go. Guts notices these ghoulish entities from the start of the book pretending to be Christmas ornaments, which triggers Guts's brand. I mean, personally, Christmas tree ornaments that are out to kill me would fucking scare me too. I mean, look at that shit. You hang them for a good time, and they're here trying to fuck you up. So that's pretty scary. Yeah. Anyways, so I don't know why. It was just funny to me, like that they. It's funny, but it's kind of goofy at the same time. Anyways, so he's in the carriage and he's just talking to them, and it's just boring. I don't know, it's boring conversation, but blah 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 blah. One thing that I did find kind of dumb, like no shit comment, was the priest saying, "Is that some sort of sword?" When I read that, I was like, "Nah, bro, it's a fucking ruler. What do you think, dumbass?" The very next thing that said, "Nah, I use it for my cooking." It's pretty funny. I fuck with Guts' sense of humor because that is funny. That's literally same line of. I'm Gus, is what I'm saying. No, I'm kidding. That's pretty funny though. And anyway, so the only real notable thing to bring up in this sequence of dialogue, aside from that no shit comment, was the priest talking about. Oops, look, get that out of the way. The priest talking about how his nephew was like a mercenary of sorts and then died in combat, and basically saying he should have been a family man. He could have had a long, happy life. With Guts countering that by saying, well, he was happy doing what he did, and I didn't see anything wrong with someone dying doing what they enjoyed. Me being the reader, I took that as Guts getting personally offended with the priest saying that. I think he took that as a personal attack on his, not profession, but his lifestyle, like what he does with his life, right? So Guts took that personally and was like, well, actually, he's happy doing that. He probably died happy, which to me insinuates there is a determination with Guts saying, well, actually, that's a chosen lifestyle, because he's talking for himself. He can't talk for the nephew, but he can relate possibly to the nephew. So he's saying, yeah, look, no, he died probably happy. So he's saying, I'm content with what I'm doing. You're criticizing me. I'm content with my path. I've decided on this. I'm very determined with this goal. Fuck your family. This is what I want to do. That's how I took it, and there was no second guessing at all. You can see here that he's very, very confident in what he's saying here. He goes to sleep. Whatever. Blah blah blah. Guts is a nightmare. You know, I mean, I can't blame him because I would be scared too. That shit is scary as fuck. He, like, there's this big ass. Hang on, sorry, I'm terrible with centering the book on the camera, but over here, this big eyeball looking down on him in this maze. It looks like a maze to me. He's naked. I find this really intriguing too. So in the dream sequence, I don't know if this is an error or not, but in the dream sequence, you can see on over here. He's got his prosthetic arm at the start of the nightmare. As it progresses, he's still got his prosthetic arm, but then he loses it at the end. Oh, it vanishes. You can see his prosthetic arm vanishes mid nightmare, and I wonder what the symbolism of that is. I think maybe it's like him feeling powerless in the dream, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of that all is, but he gets a splinter. That looks like it hurt. And then this is my least favorite panel in the manga so far. What is that? That is fucking hideous, man. That is grotesque, and it's bigger than the last one. In the first chapter, it was a smaller slug. I don't know why that's the case, but it's interesting. Anyways, turns out It was an incubus, little fucking alien from, well, the movie Alien, and it's like giving him nightmares and like feeding off his fear or some shit like that. He kills it, like whatever. And the fucking grandpa, oh my days, bro! Look at this man. What is that thing? He told you he was being chased by a legion of. He told you, and look at, if you don't believe him, look at the sword. Like, come on, bro. It's so painfully obvious that he wasn't lying. That he wasn't lying. Sorry, it's so dumb. Anyways, blah blah blah. We said that. Then there's like the Brand starts bleeding. You know, he's like, oh my god, there's this must be a battlefield because the incubus is born from the bodily fluids and blood of dead people that died with hatred. I think is what it said. Yep, that's exactly what it says. I didn't even read that, so good memory. And anyways, and he says, so this must be a battlefield where people have died. And he basically says that those evil Christmas tree ornaments are going to possess the bodies of the dead, angry people. Effectively, I'm just giving you guys the TLDR here. And, you know, and he's like, oh, stand back, I'll fight, yada yada. This shocked me. Honestly, I don't know why, but the daughter gets fucking impaled like a kebab, bro. You go down to get a HSP and you see that, and you're like, oh my days. That really actually caught me off guard. I was genuinely shocked by that. Turns out her name's Colette. Not necessary information anymore at all, because Colette's gone. R.I.P. Colette. But genuinely, like, jokes aside though, that shocked me when I saw that happen. I just wasn't ready for it. Honestly, I was expecting Guts to fight and to prevail but suffer. I wasn't expecting for her to die at all. Like, that was not on my mind. This is interesting. Guts smiling here. I think that's really telling of, how do I say this? He's just masking. You could just tell from the start he was just masking. This confidence is just, he's capable, okay? Like, Guts is very capable, but he's in pain, man. Like, this man has not stopped suffering. He has not stopped suffering. I don't know what to say about it. He's just not stopped suffering, and he has built up a very, very strong wall, or built walls to keep out these feelings. Because if he had to sit with this, all of this pain and everything that's happened around him or to him, he would just, there's no functioning. How could anyone function like that? So that's crazy. Some dope fighting sequences, you know, it's pretty cool, well drawn. That one's really cool, and that one's really cool. That's super dope. I don't know if you guys can get a good view of that. Hang on. That's gangster. And then yeah, he's fighting. I mean, it's just pretty straightforward stuff. Blah blah blah. I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but Guts has gone berserk. That one, I had that as soon as I read it. I was like, that's the catch. That's the calling card right there. Oh my god, no. So this, okay, I'm gonna stop joking for a minute. This fucked me up. I actually got emotional. This, what, bro? Look at her face. Look at it. She's smiling. I don't know if you guys can see that, right? But she's smiling, and she's clearly been possessed by the evil tree ornament. And oh my god, just look at his face. You've never seen that expression except in his dream state. This is the first time out of a dream state where we have seen him shook. And just, I want to point out the lifeless eyes versus what he recalls. Can I just get in and show you guys? Here we go. What she is now versus what he remembers her as, which is evidence to me that, again, he says the weak and the weak will die. He cares a lot. He cares so much. You can't tell me a guy that has that expression and is that pained by what he's seen doesn't care. This imagery, I love. This is actually so cool. I can't deal, actually. Look at this shit. She goes and stabs, well, it's not a she anymore, but she stabs him, and he's like, it doesn't, I can't imagine it really hurts him. I mean, he's really died like 20 times already, so that wouldn't hurt him, but it's the emotional pain that's really stabbing him right now. But then sorry? he cuts her like he's got a goddamn chef's knife from an infomercial, from those fake knives that can like cut through steel and shit. Like he cleaves the shit out of her, and boy does he feel it. Again, it's not about the pain from the stab, it's the emotional pain. He's vomiting out of pure anguish and disgust. And look at this shit. He keeps vomiting. I don't need to see this. I'm gonna start vomiting. Like I don't need to see this. Even down. I can't really. Oh yeah, there we go. Down here, I'll hold it still so you guys can see it. But he is just not okay, and I wasn't okay. I was getting glassy eyed. I was getting really emotional. I feel so sorry for Guts, man. I feel bad for Colette. Like, don't get me wrong, that sucks. That's kind of rough. But for him to constantly be dealing with the physical pain aside, the emotional anguish of feeling guilty, because if he hadn't got on the carriage, they wouldn't be dead. Full stop. He is like masking this pain, and he couldn't mask it here. How could you pretend like you didn't cause their death? And you might argue that he didn't cause the death. It was caused by the branding and the people who did the branding, and we don't know who that is yet. Possibly the God Hand, but whoever cursed him with this fate could be to blame. But he feels to blame. That's him blaming himself almost, right? I mean, he feels responsible. Why wouldn't you feel responsible? So, this is my favorite panel of the whole chapter. This is fucking sick, man. Hang on, let me move my hands out of the way so you guys can see it. That is so cool. Totally badass. I mean, he's not feeling badass. He's feeling like shit. As he should. But, not as he should. As you would. Better way of phrasing it. Then this really peaceful kind of scenic shot. Really beautiful. And the tree ornaments leave the bodies. Oh my god, and they return to the trees. No shit. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit funny, but also depressing. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit sad. This is what trips me up, right? So he looks over and he sees. Sorry, this is so hard to navigate. I can't. It's like mirrored. Anyways, so you can see that he is like. There we go. That's better. You can see that he's like looking over. Yeah, I can't stretch my pinky over there at her like lifeless top half, and he's clearly hang on, how do I there we go, anguished and just distraught at what's occurred. And then Puck, who is normally a comedic relief, actually does something really sweet, and she's like, over here she says, it wasn't your fault. He starts piercing himself laughing, and he's like damn right, it's not my fault. He falls back into that mentality of like, I need to mask, I need to pretend like this doesn't fucking crush my soul, which it will crush any normal person's soul. Why would it? How could it not? And he says, like I said, anyone who gets killed because they got caught up in someone else's fight is a small fry. If they can't live their life freely, they're better off dead. I think this speaks to his mission. He can't be weighed down by the pain of what he's experienced, and now in this current moment, but also in the past. If he allows himself to feel that, it's gonna cripple him. I mean, that's just kind of how it's gonna work. What else do we speak about? And the evil dudes are in like different trees now, and he shoots up at them indiscriminately, clearly shaken by that imagery there, but not without resolve, in my opinion. So, and that's kind of him walking off. But then Puck importantly says, "This is the world Guts lives in," and it speaks to his loneliness. I think this chapter is and that's the end of the brand. And I think that was a bit loud. Sorry. I think that speaks to wrap it up. I think that speaks to it's all pointing to the solitude, and you're meant to reflect on the life he's lived to this point. We're not going to get all of his backstory. This is a grown man. This is a grown man who's experienced trauma. We might be fed important information like the brand and certain important events, but we're not going to get the whole backstory. We don't need to know how many times he showered in a day or what he fucking ate for dinner or breakfast, right? So that is that is really clever storytelling in the sense that you don't need to know every little detail, but you just need to know that he's lonely. That's all you need to know, and that's perfectly surmises that chapter. It's just a lonely journey for Guts, and I really empathize and I really feel that as well. Like I felt that while reading it. It really hits hard. And yeah, so I'm really intrigued to know again. That wasn't that was a lot of plot without talking about plot, and that was really cleverly done. Anyways, that's chapter 2. It was awesome. Loved it. We'll do chapter 3 soon. Looking forward to seeing. I'm assuming this because this is like an in between traveling kind of part. I'm interested to see where his next destination is and what occurs for him next in this storyline. So, thanks for watching, and we'll do chapter 3 really soon. Peace.